So it seems that Elizabeth Warren is in a pickle.
Scar, help me.
She got confronted about the amount of money that she's received from pharmaceutical drug companies. She said she's never received any money from pharmaceutical drug companies and never received any monies from any PACs. And then, of course, underneath it, Community Notes strikes again. And, of course, she received millions.
Yeah.
She's a liar.
And here is the clip that they're talking about that got Community Noted with links to open secrets and such.
Big Pharma since 2020, the reason why you don't want RFK Jr. suing Big Pharma? Is that why?
No, check the website.
We did it.
I don't take contributions from Big Pharma executives. I don't take any corporate PAC money. And you and your allies already know that.
And me personally, I just find it odd that you have a salary, but your net worth is so high that I can't even understand how quickly you reach that net worth with a specific salary.
This is not only about a private company that gets sued and has to pay out. Vaccine manufacturers often operate on very slim profit margins. If they get sued repeatedly and successfully, they simply move out of the vaccine space. We've already seen this happen with vaccines in the past. 20 years ago, we watched vaccines just move away if they did not have protection from these kinds of lawsuits. The consequence of Mr. Kennedy's ability to make those lawsuits easier is also the ability to shut down access and manufacturing for vaccines for everyone.
And I think you are allowed to have an opinion, but if you are getting specific money from specific people that you're telling me I can investigate, I think it's suspicious. And it's kind of suspicious when I find an old clip of you.
The very, very smart people who run Wall Street and run these financial institutions, they knew exactly where the car they were in was going, right toward the cliff, and figured out how to still live while taking the car over the cliff.
Right. You know, that's the most astonishing part of this whole wreck now, is that the very people who drove the car over the cliff have been instrumental in shaping how the American taxpayer was supposed to save it and reconstruct it, and that's really amazing. In the past, when you drove the car over the cliff, you lost your job. I was talking to someone who spent many years as a prosecutor, and he said, you know, when that much money disappears, it's usually because somebody broke some laws somewhere. But if we don't look, if we don't ask, if we don't uncover it and make it all public,
I'm blind!
We'll never find out.
Where is the criminal investigation that needs to happen here?
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I just haven't seen it at all. What the government didn't do is it didn't turn around and say, you lost how much money and you wiped out how many pensions and you wiped out how many jobs? I want to know who did what, whether or not any laws were violated, where the gaps are in the system that would permit this to happen. I want to hold somebody responsible. Responsibility is not just about blame. Responsibility is about making sure we fix this and it will not happen again. Mm-hmm. But it starts with the notion that that's the right question to ask, rather than what can I give you now to make it all better.
And that is Elizabeth Warren in the past. Isn't that odd? But now that Elon Musk wants to do exactly what she suggested, which she kind of approved back in the day, suddenly she doesn't approve that message anymore.
We are here to fight back.
I just find it odd. You had an interesting opinion. It seems that you got way richer till now, and suddenly you don't like audits, especially when the money is lost.
And it's gone.
I guess money does change people. Dilo, remember to subscribe. I mean, I just find it suspicious when a Democrat says something that I agree with and suddenly they change their opinion. And usually, they're way richer.
Secure our borders with technology, personnel, physical barriers if necessary in some places.
I voted unlike most Democrats, and some of you won't like it. I voted for 700 miles.
Of a 630-mile border fence create a significant barrier to illegal immigration on our southern land border.
But then, of course, when
I just find it suspicious when a Democrat says something that I agree with and suddenly they change their opinion.
President's doing the right thing. China has been taking advantage of us for two decades. They're stealing our intellectual property, which means stealing our good-paying jobs. And I, frankly, am closer on this issue, not on many, but on this issue with President Trump than I was with Presidents Bush or Obama, because they did nothing to tell China off. Now, China, of course, will respond. But if they know we're strong and we're not going to back off, they will back off. They have far more to lose than we do. They have a $300 billion trade surplus with us. I'm looking out, number one, for jobs. You know, if General Electric moves jobs to China, they're not unhappy, but my New York workers in Schenectady are unhappy. And so you can't let the international business companies who don't give a hoot about where their factories are govern this. You have to do what's good for the American worker.
So when you keep saying inconsistency, you tend to go to the source and ask them directly what the heck is happening.
The shutdown.
So Senator Warren, why are you so afraid of transparency? Why are you bothered by the fact that Elon Musk is attempting to expose all of this fraudulent spending? What is that about? What is the problem here? What is the problem with transparency? Do not touch me. Do not touch me. Senator Warren, I just want to answer a question. How did you get a $12 million net worth on a $200,000 salary in Congress?
I want an answer to that question. If you take all the salary and put all that money together without spending it, I find it very suspicious that your net worth is way higher than the money that you can save.
How did you do that?
Excuse me.
How did you do that? You can keep trying to block my camera. We're on a public sidewalk, so... Get off of me. So you don't want to answer that question. What is it about DOGE that's such a problem to you? You just elbowed me, Senator. I got that on camera.
Excuse us. Thank you.
Transparency is your enemy.
I just find it interesting that back in the day she didn't have a lot of money, but she wanted audit. But now you have money, but you don't want audit. That's very suspicious when you also combine it with I don't get money from those people, but you actually did.
Some breaking news now. The Department of Homeland Security firing 4 FEMA employees after it was revealed they authorized $59 million in payments for luxury hotels in New York City to house migrants.
Flashback.
Welcome back. New video into Fox News of 5 more buses carrying migrants from Texas arriving in New York City earlier this morning. And we're learning more about where many are staying at taxpayer expense. The city is renting some 5,000 rooms at a swanky hotel just 1 block from Times Square with spectacular views of the iconic skyline. Rooms cost up to $700 per night. Oh, there's also a top-of-the-line fitness center on the 3rd floor. Officials are keeping the cost of all of this under wraps.
A few moments later.
Tonight, Mayor Adams getting pushback from some asylum seekers who are being told to move out of their West Side hotel and into a new facility in Brooklyn.
This is a live look right now at the Watson Hotel on West 57th Street, where some people are still refusing to leave. CBS 2's political reporter Marcia Kramer says the mayor wants to use the hotel for families. Marcia.
Well, Jessica and Maurice, it's a problem city officials apparently didn't see coming. Asylum seekers who got used to the privacy of living in a hotel room don't want to move to a congregate shelter where everyone sleeps packed like sardines in a room with 1,000 cots.
A few moments later.
We received a statement from the DHS regarding the $59 million sent from FEMA to New York City migrants last week. Quote, 4 employees being fired today for circumventing leadership and unilaterally making the egregious payment for hotels for migrants in New York City. We have not announced it yet.
Ladies and gentlemen, do you remember there were the disasters and FEMA said we don't have enough money? We were doing our best. And now we know why. Because of an audit of Elon Musk. Because they were wasting the money helping illegal people. Not in the bad way, but in a very comfortable $700 a night day. That's a waste of freaking money. And now you understand why they want to mess with the audit? Because they know it might reveal something that might affect their salary.
Don't get me wrong, I
cosa kita bong. Put the fire na mi blonde kush hash purple skunk criollo colombici jam jam turloqueta verdeta welcome.